Welcome back to 504 Road Trips. We begin part 2 of our US Highway 90 Mississippi series at the Gulfport city limits with the Gulf of Mexico beach on our right. In this, the second largest city in Mississippi, we begin to see the big Gulf Coast casinos, which originally opened in the early 90s. All of these casinos were heavily damaged or destroyed by Hurricane Katrina and have since been rebuilt. Prior to 2005, the gaming areas of the casinos were on large barges or boats that floated in the water, with the non-gaming portions such as restaurants and hotels in connected buildings that were built on solid ground. The storm surge lifted these barges and brought them inland, with two of them coming to rest just north of Highway 90. Since Hurricane Katrina, the entire casinos are in the land-based portions of the properties to reduce the chance of that happening again. As we approach the junction of the southern terminus of US Highway 49, we can see downtown Gulfport on the left and the deep water port of Gulfport on the right. Gulfport is now mostly a tourist destination because of the casinos. In the 1980s and earlier, Highway 90 was lined on the north side with roadside motels and resorts, which, along with the white sand beaches, attracted families from New Orleans and other nearby areas all summer long. Additionally, this stretch of beachfront, all the way to Biloxi, had water slides, go-kart racing, bumper boats, and mini golf as recently as 2005. But very little of this sort of thing has returned. Those old motels and attractions have since been washed away by Hurricane Katrina, and new modern hotels have been built to replace them, although without the same charm and atmosphere of the old places. There are several events throughout the year that attract families and non-gamblers, such as Cruising the Coast, a week-long event that attracts thousands of classic cars and enthusiasts from all over the United States. This area, once known as Mississippi City before being annexed by the city of Gulfport in 1965, was where a large concentration of motels and tourist attractions once were. From 1962 to 1984, the Eight Flags Deer Ranch stood on DeBuys Road just off of Highway 90. The attraction featured a petting zoo with live deer, can-can girls at the Red Dog Saloon, although they weren't in the petting zoo, and the Western Gunfight Show at Six Gun Junction. As we enter the city limits of Biloxi, the Edgewater Plaza Mall is on the left. On the left is the Mississippi Gulf Coast Coliseum, which opened in 1978. This is home to one of the largest crawfish festivals in the United States. Over the years, the Coliseum has hosted ice hockey, basketball, soccer, football, wrestling, as well as concerts and music festivals. Next we see Beauvoir, the Gulf Coast estate of Mississippi Senator and Confederate President Jefferson Davis, built in 1852. Just to the north is Keesler Air Force Base, which opened in the 1940s. Ahead in the median, you can see the Biloxi Lighthouse. It stands 45 feet tall and was built in 1848 and was electrified in 1927. The lighthouse has been damaged by various hurricanes in its 168 years, but has remained standing. It was last restored after sustaining damage during Hurricane Katrina and was relit on February 19, 2010. Inside the lighthouse, blue lines are painted marking the historic storm surges, with Hurricane Katrina setting the record at 21.5 feet above mean sea level. After crossing the junction of Interstate 110, we get into Casino Row with the Beau Rivage Resort, the Hard Rock Hotel, Margaritaville, and the Golden Nugget on the Gulf side of the highway, and Harrah's on the north side. The inland area between the Gulf and Biloxi Bay is the old downtown section of Biloxi, and there are more casinos along the back bay. As we reach the last part of our trip, we cross the Biloxi Bay Bridge, which connects Biloxi and Ocean Springs. This bridge was heavily damaged by Hurricane Katrina, but reopened on November 1st, 2007. We finish our trip at Washington Avenue in Ocean Springs. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment below. And be sure to join us for our next 504 road trip.